is now 5:34 PM. I'm going to call the Recreation Commission meeting of Tuesday, June 4th to order. First on the agenda is reorg. I know it feels like we did this a couple months ago because I was true. I think we did it early March, but we've had another town election. Tim has signed up for another 3 years with us.
Congratulations.
So I'd be looking for a motion for chairman.
Ryan Hogan for chairman, I nominate.
Second.
Okay. Is there any other interest in the chairman?
We third it.
All right. If no other nominations, all in favor of myself as chairman, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. You opposed? Okay. I'd be looking for a nomination for vice chairman.
Hannah Stevens, nomination for vice chairman. Second.
Okay, any other nominations for vice chair? Hannah, does that work for you?
Sure.
All right. All in favor of Hannah Stevens as vice chair?
Aye.
Say aye. Aye. Unanimous. Congratulations. All right, we're going to go a little out of order because I'm not sure how much Brett wants to stay for the whole meeting. And so I'm going to move on to number 4. First of all, the sand volleyball court at Martin Road.
Yeah, so I'm kind of in an investigative phase here. I think I remember being up at Martin Road probably 10 years ago at the playground with my son at the time, and I noticed that area kind of between the ball fields in there. I'm like, that looks like it's a volleyball court, and kind of forgot about it until like a couple months ago. Now that I'm involved with volleyball programs in town, and I went to check it out a few weeks ago. I'm like, there's actually posts in the ground up there.
There is, and the equipment's in the shed.
There is that blue shed there. There's equipment in there. Wow. That's what I was trying to find out. I'm like, is there actually equipment around that goes with that?
It was used by the high school years ago.
Yeah.
They had like a summer league for high
Yeah.
schools, probably 10, 12 years ago.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Is there any chance I can get into that shed and check
Oh, I'm
that out
sure there's
sometime?
a way, yeah.
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 All right. That's basically what I was here to find out. Is
Sure.
there actually equipment there? And if not,
Yeah.
I start researching how to get
Yeah,
some.
the
and,
posts are in there, the net,
Yeah.
everything you need to set up. I don't know what the brush is like around it, it's been years.
Yeah.
If-
Yeah. So that's what I was going to say. Like, I don't mind doing the maintenance on it. The court could be raked out and weeded and all that
Yeah.
stuff, and I wouldn't mind cutting the brush back. Do I go through you guys to approve that? Do I? I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
just.
Okay, do we want to approve it? I assume you want to get at it? Is that what you'd like to do?
Yeah, it'd be,
Yeah.
like I'm not like in a rush to
Yeah.
do this like next weekend, but over the course of this summer,
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind getting
Sure.
that stuff going and just opening up to whoever to play up there. So
Okay. I think that would work for us.
Yes.
Is your lawn-
It had
it's sandy right
pretty good
now.
base of
Yeah,
sand.
I
They
played
brought in
on
a
worse
lot.
courts than that. Let's put it that way.
We brought in a
it's-
lot from
yeah.
the highway department many years ago.
Yeah.
A lot of loads up there.
Yeah, so I wouldn't mind just kind of getting it started with it kind of as is, just kind of pulling some of the weeds and stuff out of there and chunks of grass, but I think we can make it pretty playable as it is, but then as we get going, see if maybe it's something that we want to dig out and bring fresh sand in and stuff like that, but that's kind of down the road. I think it could be pretty playable just the way it is.
And would you anticipate playing someone there this summer? Is that your goal, or?
Yeah, I'd love to just open it up as, I'll, as I have free time, I'll go up,
Yeah.
set the nets up,
Yeah.
send out emails to, the people that I know that play,
Right.
and then say, hey, bring your friends down, come play, I'll come back later, take the nets down, but just kind of leave it as an open play, not necessarily anything organized right
Okay.
now, is my intention, so.
All right. So the only thing I'd say is you probably, when you decide when you want to do that, is just
Yeah.
reserve the time with the town clerk.
Okay,
There's a property usage form.
okay, gotcha. Yeah, so
I would
maybe
just
I'll.
fill it out as a
maybe
non-profit. You're not charging anybody. You're not making a profit.
No, nothing like that, yeah.
Right, right. So, just so if somebody, God forbid, somebody else, I don't anticipate there'll be a lot of use for it,
Yeah.
but just so, you decide you want to do it on a Wednesday night,
Yeah.
somebody's up there, you can,
Yes, I mean, that's what I'll do.
Yeah.
I'll figure out from, the
Right.
girls I know in town that are looking to play, like, what's a good night. We'll
Yeah.
pick a night or two and say, we'll reserve it for that.
right.
And then,
That way the town knows
Just
about,
go
it
from
goes to the fire
Yeah,
chief, the
sounds
police
good.
chief, just so everyone's kind of in the loop, and
Yeah.
that way if,
the lock on there, is it like a number code?
It's a
form
number
kind of
code,
deal?
I have it written
Yeah.
down somewhere.
Okay.
I will get it to you.
I'll get in touch with you
Yeah,
on
sounds
that
good.
separately.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, yeah, I got a little vacation coming up. I'll be away, but when I get back, I'll go up there and kind of just start surveying around, how to kind of get that fixed up the best. And maybe just getting it to at least assess the equipment and see what
Sure.
it looks like, as if any critters got into it or anything like that.
Sure
or who
enough.
knows,
I'll let you
but-
do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Not the credit person.
Yeah, you know, if I'm gonna take this any further, I'll come back to you guys just to see, but, that form is the clerk's office?
Yes, it's
Okay.
all on the website.
Okay.
If you can't find it, just ping me and I'll send it to you.
I'll figure it out.
So I guess before it goes, I'd be looking for a motion of support from the Recreation Commission to allow Brett to do some maintenance on the court.
So moved.
All right. All right, motion made by John, seconded by Tim. Any other comments, questions? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. All right, Brett.
Thanks,
Brett,
everyone.
Go get him.
Appreciate it.
See you, take care.
Have a good night.
Good night. All right, so now we'll hop back up to number 2, spending remaining grant funds for recreational purposes, and additional budget spending 2024. So in your packet, on the second page, is what we've spent so far on the state grant. Approximately 11,800 and change. We've also allocated another 6,000 to the soccer club to install more fencing over at, not Martin Road, at the VFW field, excuse me. So with that money, so we'd have approximately, that if my math is right, another 2,100? Did I do that right? 17, yeah. Approximately another 2,900 to spend out of that. Let me just do that math, it seems like that. As I get older, I don't trust my own mind as much.
That 79 covered the pressure treated.
Yes, they got some sort of pre-payment discount, Gene worked something with
Yeah, I
coupons.
believe it's all discounted.
So it was a little more, I think we
Yes.
offered, I think we approved at least $9,000 for that.
Yeah.
It came in a little less, so we want it.
They didn't get like the supplies yet, right? The paint and all that stuff.
I thought they
I
did.
think,
I took the delivery for them because I was in town and all we got was the screws and the plywood, unless they took another delivery.
no, I don't think that, I think that's what it was.
So you got screws?
There's screws and the plywood inside the old fire station
I
right now.
thought I saw on the estimate, wasn't there paint in there last time?
Yeah,
we
but I
got
don't
it?
know if they
Yeah.
picked it up or not.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Or staying
was
or
Nick?
whatever they're using.
Yeah, I don't think, I spoke to him briefly, so I think he's, maybe he didn't know about the paint, or I'm not even sure, I'd have to look at the video if we approved the paint, but
Thought
I don't-
we
I
did?
thought we
I thought, yeah.
did.
I
Yeah,
don't
we
That's
did.
fine.
think he has any plans to spend anymore. I talked to him briefly at the baseball game Sunday. So,
okay.
okay.
Well, we're gonna need the paint.
Okay.
And that shelf life on that stored properly is fine for what we're doing.
Yeah,
Right.
as long as it doesn't freeze somewhere, you know, keep it out of the cold temperatures. But I think they
Okay.
plan on getting everything done before winter this year, I think is the plan.
Before we go much further, the pickleball club has a little presentation about some additional netting on the outdoor court. So if you could just state your name and address for the minute taker, please.
Yes, my name's Judy Russell. I live on Island Road here in Douglas, and it's not much of a presentation, but I do have a little diagram of what we're proposing here. If you pass those around.
Thank you.
So this is for the outdoor court
Yeah.
out here, and we play out there 4 times a week right now, 2 mornings and 2 evenings, and we have a lot of participation. The problem that we're facing is that a lot of the balls roll down the hill, and people have to chase them, so it's a lot of running, and, you know, with cars coming and going, it's probably not the safest thing to be doing. So we're proposing adding some fencing around the edges. We don't necessarily need to go all the way around, but, 20 feet on each side and 105 feet on the long side. Currently, there is a fence up near the woods, and we added some netting at the top to keep the balls from flying down the hill up there. But it's quite expensive. We would like to ask for your permission, first of all, to propose this and get quotes and all that, and then perhaps some funding to get it done.
Okay. So just looking at this, do the majority of the balls go down the hill towards the police station or out towards the parking lot?
Well, it's both, but because it's sloped down there, once they go out towards the parking lot, they roll down.
Right, okay. Just because the fencing, just my impression would be you'd want to extend the fencing on the police station side all the way. Right? Otherwise, if you leave that up, I haven't been out there, so I shouldn't, that would just be my thought.
I mean, ideally, yes, we would do the whole thing, but
Yeah.
the worst is this.
Okay, that section
This section here. Mostly because that is sloped. On the sides where we're not proposing the fencing, it's pretty flat, so
Okay.
they don't roll as much.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Does anyone else have any other questions or comments?
You had spoken about coming back for funding. Do you have a rough cost or?
We don't. Originally, I think Donna had gotten a quote for the entire area, and it was going to be like 15,000. We don't have a quote yet for this new limited scope.
Okay. So would you be looking for the Recreation Department to fund this?
Well, whatever portion you might be willing to do, and then we could have a fundraiser or, some other means to raise some money, yeah.
Okay.
So I spoke to Donna this afternoon early,
Okay.
and she gave me a similar quote to which I responded, well, I don't think we'll be able to do that, obviously. I'm sure the commission would be willing to listen on paying part of what we could out of probably next year's budget. So they have a meeting with the selectmen in 2 weeks, not tonight, for their approval on this. But it didn't look like it would be something that could be done and wrapped up for the 30th, so we'd be looking to maybe fund some of it out of our 2024 budget. So that's what Dawn and I talked about. I told her, not sure how quickly, she was not really sure how quickly this would all come together. I told her we could certainly meet in July if enough of us were around to approve part of that budget if that was the commission's desire. So that's kind of how I left it with her.
The only question I have, if you don't mind,
Yeah.
so this fencing that's existing back there is 4 feet, and then you guys or somebody put up a netting above it
We
to
did.
make it, okay, so my concern is this fencing, the new fencing, only gonna be 4 feet as well?
Yeah.
So eventually, are we gonna see like that netting have to come into play?
We shouldn't, just the way that it's laid out. What we were worried about here is that
Go down the
if
woods?
and
okay.
there's a big hill
I was just
down
curious,
there,
because if it
so-
was like where you guys were getting the, whatever, 10 feet, a ball could possibly go over there, like putting this up, is it just stopping it from rolling down?
Exactly.
And not basically the hitting over?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I think it's a worthy investment. Clearly, the pickleball program is growing by leaps and
It's
bounds.
very popular.
Yeah.
yes.
Flourishing out there, I know that.
And this is our municipal property. And, as much as I know the practicality of the, kind of the fish netting, I think we're grown as a town where we could actually invest a little bit in that particular recreational facility.
Like getting the back one higher
Yeah,
and then get rid of them.
and sealing it off properly. I mean, I know it's a lift, but it's good to have these discussions now and
Yeah.
not surprise people, but get the townspeople behind actually spending some taxpayer money on something that the townspeople really deserve.
And we are willing to run a fundraiser. We did one that was successful last year to buy all the nets and the balls and some extra paddles and equipment that we needed, and that was very successful. So, and we're willing to do that and help chip in.
And not related to this, but we're living in harmony with the basketball people.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've been good?
Yeah, they've been really good, actually. They know what times we have reserved now, and if they happen to be playing there when we come, they're very gracious about leaving, so,
Good.
yeah. It's been
Good to hear.
Yeah, after a little bit of a rocky start, it's gone very well over the last year or so, I'd say.
Yeah. People really enjoy it, really, really do. We've established a good community of people, so it's nice.
Excellent. Okay. Does anyone have anything else for Judy or any other questions on, I don't think there's anything, or I guess we'd look for a motion to recommend to the selectmen that this project go forward.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion made by John, seconded by Jim. Any other questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
So, is that unanimous? Okay, unanimous.
All right, thank
All
you
right,
so
Judy.
much. I
Thank you.
appreciate
Take
it.
care.
Have a good evening.
You as well.
Okay, let's, so circle back, spending remaining grant funds and recreational purposes and additional spending of 2024 Recreation Commission budget. So John, you mentioned the first two things listed, the fire extinguisher services
Yes.
and the Martin Road dugout repair.
So yearly, we have the fire extinguisher service,
Okay,
along with everyone in this building, the fire station, the police department. And the past few years, we've included the ball fields.
okay,
They come out and take the extinguishers, test them, service them, and put them back. So there's a bill in the box, because
There
they're
is.
already in town,
okay.
for, I think it's $150-something.
Is that along, is the AED servicing, do we do that too, or no?
I believe baseball, we've never done it in the rec
Oh,
budget.
okay, maybe I was thinking the fire extinguishers then.
Yeah.
I thought,
Trying to think the AED, I
The
feel like we,
AED,
I'm trying to think.
the program
Paid-
has,
Yes,
that's
that
taken
we've
care of
taken
those.
those.
okay,
I think we've been taking those.
Yes,
And we raised the funds for them, and then I think the servicing, to get them tested, we've paid, I think you may have, like, sent me a bill for them, and I paid them.
yeah.
okay. Maybe then I was thinking of the fire extinguishers. All right, I'm gonna go quickly and check for that bill. I thought I grabbed the recreation budget, it's the parks budget, which is ours, so. Let me see if we have that in there before we go forward.
How's the new radio system?
Fantastic.
Is it
Oh my God, night and day.
good?
It's fantastic.
Did they get back to you? Did you text them?
Oh, no, I stopped because he,
Oh,
I was just curious, because I remember us talking about it.
I know it was on the quote.
Yes,
But I don't know if they got it or not, because then there's
Like
gonna be
I said,
another bill.
right.
yep, was not delivered with the plywood and the screws, because I received them.
And where Brian quoted us that for the other two dugouts, that would probably be the same price for the other two,
I
correct?
would say because they're the same size.
Right.
baseball team got lucky.
I talked to the coach last night,
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
Yeah. That sets up,
I did find
I
it.
think, pretty nice for them.
Sure good.
They catch lightning in a bottle here,
Yeah.
see what happens. I got a meeting tomorrow night, it's gonna kill me just having to leave.
Yeah.
Even though it's torture.
Okay, so it looks like the fire bill is $122.90. And just looking at how much we've spent in the budget, we've spent we have 2,400. So I would say we have 2,400 allocated to the lights, so another 2,600 to spend in the budget as well. Why don't we talk about the grant first? Let's get those funds expended, and then we can work on the other. Do we have any thoughts on how much paint we needed? It's probably not a couple grand worth, right? Is it that much?
I wouldn't say so. I know I had talked to Nick and it was more of a, actually it was Darrell who was doing the maintenance. It was more of a stain than paint,
Okay.
but he didn't give me an amount or how many gallons or how much money, so I'm not really sure. I don't know, what, $1,000 would you think would be sufficient?
You're venturing far away from my area of expertise. I haven't painted anything in quite a few years. When you say stain, is the plot, are they gonna paint it that same green?
I'm thinking,
Okay, but we don't know.
I don't know.
Okay. Discussed. All right. So,
An average stain is like $49.98 at Home Depot.
A gallon.
Yeah.
So 20 gallons.
They have a
would be
5 gallon.
Yeah.
That's 169. You know what I mean? That's just.
Because I know their thought was to use, once the plywood's up, is to use a pneumatic spray gun to do it, make it much easier.
okay. So, Nick also stopped me and said if there was money available, he could use some additional netting for around the concession stand area and by in left field. Some of that netting has gone pretty straight as well. And I guess the third option is the soccer group has decided to, the recommendation of the fence guy was just to extend it all the way to the end of the woods. They were only gonna go kind of kitty corner it, to go all the way down. So that's become a little more expensive as well, way beyond what we'd have, but if we had money to spend, an easy way would be to give them, say, an extra $1,000 to make their allocation 7,000, and maybe, so, one suggestion, and it's just mine, is give another 1,000 to the soccer program. And then give the additional, try to do the math in my head, $1,148.35 to the baseball program, and we could do netting and paint. I don't know, does anyone else have other things that I reached out to pickleball, I reached out to soccer, I reached out to baseball, those were the things that came back. I don't know if anyone else has heard from anybody and has stuff to, you know.
No, I mean, we talked a little bit about if there was money to do, there's 2 other roofs that need doing, that repairing or replacing at Martin Road
Yep,
also, on the lower field.
okay,
There's also a repair on the cement wall on the third base side of the lower field. I had gotten a quote for $400 to get that done.
okay.
It's,
So we could do those as, if there's nothing else, as part of the actual budget. Again, they gotta be done by June 30th, but if that's what people desired.
it's, I'm just throwing it
Yeah,
out there.
yeah,
So,
I'm-
to
I'm
the
get-
entire
yeah.
body, yeah.
Yep, I would be supportive of that. Does anybody have anything else?
No, your ideas trump mine. The only thing I would say is cognizant of Jean's concerns, whatever we do should be
Yeah, she needs.
rapid.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So my brief email chat back and forth last week, she wanted the plan done today and then seemed to understand that the work might be done in the next week or two. Probably not quite as quickly as she would have hoped, but I think was
Yeah.
accepting of it. So then I guess I would, in terms of the recreational grant, I'd be looking for a motion to allocate an additional $1,000 to the fencing project for Douglas Youth Soccer at the VFW. And then the remaining $1,148.35 to the baseball program for paint and nettings. Paint or netting, I guess.
Or
Right, paint or netting. Let them judge what they want to do with that.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion made by John, I think Hannah nipped Jen for the second. Any other questions or comments? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so that's unanimous. So that would take care of the grant from the state, the 20,000. So we do have an approximately 2,600 as well. Do you know how much the dugout and cement work would do?
What was the total?
Well,
from-
for Brian's last time was she was with 3,000, right?
That was 3,900 for 2
For
dugout
2
roofs.
dugouts, right?
So one roof would be approximately $2,000,
Okay.
and then the repair on the cement would be $400. We also have the bill
Don't say that we have that bill.
for the fire extinguishers.
just like that.
And
Okay, so we're kind of, part of it is we still got the lights to pay for, right? That's the
Yeah, there
only.
should be one more cycle.
Right. So I'm hesitant to cut it too close. So,
Could we do this, the roof, and then do the cement work in the next budget?
yeah, I think that would be,
That would give you a
That would-
$400.
yeah, a couple
Buffer.
buffer. I think that's probably the best way to go about it. I don't want to be a town meeting asking why I went up from
No,
my
no,
roof.
no, not a bit. Not at all.
All right, so let's do that. So let's approve as part of our 2023 budget. First, let's do the fire extinguisher, what is it I want to use, servicing for the ball fields. That cost is $120.90. So I'll be looking for a motion for that.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by John, seconded by Tim. Questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. And then I'd be looking for a motion for allocate $2,000 to do one more dugout roof, is that correct?
Correct.
One more dugout roof at Martin Road.
A second.
Okay. Jen makes a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made by Jen, seconded by Tim. Questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. Okay. So that takes care of the budget at this time. So now we're gonna go to number 3, discuss, Sarah from the Historical Commission is here. She's gonna step up to the table and discuss possibly a sign and plaque at Soldiers Field.
Hi, guys.
Aye. Really?
Other members were not able to make it tonight, so I'm just representing them, sort of.
Perfect.
So we wanted to see if we could get like a plaque at Soldiers Field. It was brought to my attention, or I noticed that there was no, like, anything there saying that the Red Sox-Yankees game happened there in 1946, and because it's an interesting piece of Douglas history, we thought it would be good to add a plaque, and we're working on basically the downtown Douglas Historic District right now, so we're kind of, compiling it. It's been a work in progress for a while. Soldiers Field will be within the district, so, we thought that would be a nice addition to the, just to put somewhere, like maybe on one of the walls, one of the buildings, or, anywhere you guys think would be good. Just a little something to say, what happened there. So Dawn got me, she did a little bit of research on pricing. She was also looking around for, like, when people do ones for their house, and we were thinking we might be able to, like, offer residents to be able to buy one once we're done our district. So she was looking around for those anyway. So she sent me a thing on pricing. So basically she said 24 by 18, which is pretty big, would be $1,150, but there are smaller sizes for less, which, and there was actually like a whole price list, and I can just briefly tell you some of the sizes. Like, I don't know how big it would need to be. I don't think it needs to be like anything super huge, but I did print out what the bronze plaques look like. And I wrote just a little blurb of what maybe we could say on it. So I'll pass you guys the blurbs. And pricing, and this is kind of like, this is the company that she was thinking of, that she found, and it's like, they show you different styles and different sizes and stuff. They're kind of like a bronze marker, very, very historic looking, so. And like different things, like a 12 by 12 sign with 216 letters would be like $427. Then there's like small signs, like maybe, let's see, they have 10 by 8 for 260 with 8 lines. And 12 by 10 with 180 letters for 382. So it kind of depends on like how many letters you need on it, how many lines you need on it, but just a thought. And I don't know what Historic Commission has right now for a budget. I am under the impression that we have not very much, but I was thinking, you know, obviously it could possibly be something we fundraise for or something we share or what have you, so.
Do they get I don't actually know finance, does the Historical Commission get an annual budget?
I am not sure that we do. I'll have to ask the rest of the board members, because as far as like I know, as long as I've been on it, we haven't spent anything, so I'm kind of tending to think we don't based on that, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
Most departments get $500, a lot of them don't spend, so you might have $500 to spend.
I'll have to
You know,
look into that.
Speaking for myself, it's certainly something I'd be willing to support. I have a little bit of a concern on where it would go down there. Just, I'm afraid if it ended up on one of the fence walls there, it'd get damaged, and you know, the kids whack the balls over there, that sort of, it's kind of over by the concession stand area. I'm just not sure where exactly the right spot for it would be. I feel like I'd want to put it up high so no one could, but I'm not sure anyone would see it if I put it,
Right.
we put it up too high, so I'm just not quite sure. How heavy, does anyone know how heavy the bronze plaque would be?
I think they're pretty heavy.
Pretty heavy.
Yeah. I think this is a great idea to get the field recognized and
Right.
give people that come here a little history about the field. So I think it's a great idea. I personally like the 18 by 24. I think that's just,
Is that something we could put on a post, or is that too big for a post?
It looks like it's on a
But it was
post.
the backside of the first dugout, like when people pull in. You know, like as you're coming in the field, there's like the dugout. What if we put it in the backside? Everybody would walk by that dugout.
Yeah, they will throw the balls off that.
Oh, okay.
Um,
we could put a 6 by 6 pressure
It looks
treated
like it's on like
post in the
a,
ground, pressure treated, and, you know, get it up high enough to just find that spot, that's all.
maybe in to the left of the batting cage in that little grassy knoll, grassy section.
That's true.
Either there, or would you want to put it in the middle, somewhere in the middle of the two fields? Because if you put it over by the batting cages, people playing on the smaller field will never see that. I don't have a strong feeling either way. I do think the post is maybe a good idea.
Yeah, I think it's neat.
Yeah.
You're right, there is no recognition down there, and would we be considered a National Register of Historic Places place?
So I am not sure with the way they're doing the district. I know we're doing like not a restrictive district, so we're doing like a district where you don't have restrictions, but I think, I want to say some of it goes on national. I'm not 100% certain, but I think, because I know we were talking about, right now we're picking things to highlight in the district that we're gonna send to the State Historic Commission for them to, like, basically make us an official district. So, we're picking like a few highlighted houses, highlighted places, like town-owned buildings and so on and so forth. I don't know what Soldiers Field would fall under because they have like designations for like burial grounds or buildings, and I didn't see one for ballparks, but I think that was one of the questions we had for the state, so we did want to include it.
And does that designation limit what you can do on a
The
particular?
way we're doing it, it doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah, because we know a lot of people don't want a restrictive type of district, so the way we're doing it, we're going to keep it non-restrictive, so you can still do what you like with your,
You can paint the, like,
right.
paint the jank store purple. Right. Not that we would propose that.
Can change the color of your buildings and dugouts as you need to. If you want to go with something flashy.
So I'm guessing as a group, we are supportive of the idea and probably willing to contribute funds to that. Doesn't look like something we're gonna wrap up before the end of the fiscal year, so this will be a 24 project. I'm just not exactly sure how we move forward here. I'm guessing once we fine tune, we should probably go in front of the selectmen as well to get their approval. But how do we go about fine tuning the wording and how it fits all in the plaque? And like, does the plaque website let you kind of
Build it.
build it? I mean, like
You know,
when we
it
do
looked-
banners, that's kind of how it does.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It looked like they just had kind of options available and you could send them, I think there's a way to, oh yeah, it says options. So let's see what happens if I hit that, just out of curiosity. So it says each plaque is manufactured to your specifications. They can be cast in bronze or aluminum, various borders, backgrounds, mounting methods. It has commonly used fonts. Let's see. And then it has a way that you can send them for like a quote. So they have like a request a quote. I don't know if once you request a quote, if maybe they'll send you like a mock-up of what you're
I
asking
would
for,
think
but
so.
Yeah.
doesn't look like there's any interactive things on their website where you can like build your own though. Which would be
Right.
cool if there was. But.
It's just kind of hard to see how all this would fit on a
Yeah.
plaque.
And we could
without-
always like pare it down a little, like, you know, I might have got a little wordy, but
Yeah. Well, I think this is a great start, to be bluntly honest. I really do. It might be to be pared down, but you got all of the key facts in there, so I think that's a great place to start. Is the Historical Commission done meeting for this summer?
we're not. We're actually meeting, I can't remember. I think our next meeting, I want to say, is the end of this month
Okay.
sometime. I can actually look it up for you. Yeah, because we're kind of, we have 2 new members now, and we're kind of trying to wrap up finishing the district, so let me just take a quick peek in my calendar, and I'll let you know when our next meeting is, because I think it's It is July 2nd is our next meeting at 6 PM.
Maybe we can approve the idea and let them come back with the wording or something on the sign, you know, a quote
Yeah.
with what you want to put on the sign.
Sure, if that's the way you wanted to go. I'm not around, so we'll wait for the 4th of July weekend, so I'm not here on the 2nd.
Well, we could let them meet and then meet later on in the month and
Okay,
Yeah.
something like that.
sure, if that's, sure.
Sounds good, because I think we'll still be meeting, you know, at least a couple more times through the summer. so.
Okay. And, you know, maybe plan to get it approved in the fall by the selectmen and then get it ordered and installed next spring. Probably don't want to install in the winter, right? Install next.
Right.
Late fall or in the spring, maybe, is kind of the timeline.
Sounds good.
Okay. Great. Anyone else have any thoughts?
No, it's a good first pass at the write-up.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot to be said on a little plaque.
Right.
So it's gonna be the art is.
Right. Sum up as much as possible, right? Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
All right, thank
Thank
you.
you.
We'll be in touch.
All
I
right.
got it.
Good way to get started. Thank you. Okay, I do not have any meeting minutes. Graduation this weekend. We had a few activities, so I did not get to those. We'll do those the next time. Topics not reasonably anticipated 48 hours in advance of the meeting. Does anybody have any of those?
I don't-
You look like you had something.
Yeah, I just know if I want to read this whole thing or just give everyone an update, but our movie EFIS was in the Cannes Film Festival in the middle of last month, and the write-ups from that have been quite strong. Word is that this won't be on Hulu or Netflix, but it will actually be in theaters nationwide. So it got picked up. In my hand is a RogerEbert.com review. It wasn't written by Roger Ebert, but it's very good, and I'm looking for this one particular part of this. I'll guess that it's here. But he writes, EFIS is ultimately about the fading of the light of a time, a space, a way of living amid the long stretches of stasis and sudden bursts of activity that make up their gameplay, time elapses, and a reckoning with finality awaits. So that wasn't the line I wanted. He basically says it's easily one of the best baseball movies that he has seen. So,
I'm excited.
so that's, even more Soldiers Field history.
Certainly keep.
Another plaque.
Yeah. When it wins the Oscar, we can put another plaque
Exactly,
up
yeah,
there, right?
exactly. They can pay for the plaque.
Please keep us updated where we can all check that out, because I'm sure some of us would be interested in seeing it. That would be great. Do we want to set a meeting date in July? Or do people know their July vacation schedules, that sort of stuff?
It would be later in the month for
Yeah,
me.
Me
like
too.
toward the end.
So say Wednesday, July 24th? Is that a possible? I'm on vacation the week before, but I can do that week.
That
That's
one's
fine.
fine. We want Wednesday and not a Tuesday.
Yeah, my daughter starts
Nope,
playing
that's
summer
not missing it.
basketball
And I'm
on,
not missing it.
unless Hannah wants to take over the,
Nope.
with that vice chairmanship. If the schedule seems to conflict, but
I might be sick that day.
Monday's fine. I'd probably rather not do Monday the 22nd, but Monday the 29th, if that's a better day for people.
24th is fine.
Okay.
What time?
Is this time 5:30 best for everybody? 5 o'clock? Anytime
5:30 is better.
5:30? Okay. So let's plan on Wednesday the 24th. I'm sure there'll be a room available in the summer. And if people have agenda items, please let me know. We can talk about the cement wall. I'm going to allocate funds for that. And anything else, I guess?
I have nothing.
All right, be looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by John, seconded by Tim. Motion to adjourn at 6:17 PM. Can't read the little clocks like I used to.